Hello everybody, welcome to Nature's People. Today's topic is climate change real, and what are the repercussions of a ever warming globe, or global warming per se. So, and what does that has? What are the implications of that on the economies of North America in general? Well, first and foremost, I would have to say that the recent data in the last 40 years have been showing that the globe, of basically the Earth, has had an increase of 1.25 degrees centigrades as far as temperature is concerned. And so the mean temperature in the world means melting glaciers will have more ice melting from the southern pole, from Antarctica, and also from the northern pole. And what are what economic opportunities that brings and challenges? So we're going to talk right about that. All right. First and foremost, what I have to say is that the world is changing. The economic dividend is shifting towards less developed countries. Less developed countries are having a high share of economic activity, and that means with a rise in temperatures, if global warming is actually real, what will happen is that we'll have actually a lot of resources redirected into controlling things like cyclones, floods, and natural disasters. And this has been evident in many regions around the world. If you guys can sort of reminisce what's happened with Sri Lanka a couple of months ago, and also it happened with Pakistan. It happened in somewhere in Southern Africa, in Malawi. It happened in South America. It's happening in North America with the wildfires. So the world is being affected in general. And many countries, such as Canada, are trying to introduce a carbon tax on farmers and all these companies that are pose a sort of a risk in a high uptick on CO2 emissions. And one positive thing that the world is doing is now we're seeing a rise in renewable energy things, or say devices or industries. One of them is Tesla. So with Tesla, we have production of full electric cars. They're charged. They use electricity. However, there are a lot of criticism towards full electric cars, as in the all process from the exploitation, from the refinery, from the production of the batteries. Like, isn't that consuming? What is the percentage of CO2 produced per battery, per milligram of battery assembled? So that's a tricky question. However, no one knows the answer. Now, what I have to say is, I will first talk about economic opportunities that ever increasing global warming has, and I will also talk about the downfall, the disadvantages. All right. For the economic opportunities, we have Russia and Canada benefiting from new traffic routes, so trade routes. So the North Atlantic region is generally colder in winters, and throughout the years, because it has a lot of glaciers, a lot of icebergs that sort of are difficult to pierce through. One of the reasons why the Titanic sank was because like the British had a concept that they could visualize certain icebergs from afar. However, if an iceberg is big, it seems small at the top, at the bottom might be big. All right, I'm just giving you a perspective on really what are the difficulties that people face whenever they're trying to trade or move from a region to another, whenever they're like big things that obstruct them, like glaciers or icebergs. All right. Don't think I'm deviating from the main course of the video. Anyways, continuing, what I'm saying is, like, there are a lot of of obstacles when we're trying to trade. And as the world gets warmer, you know what, these icebergs start melting and these glaciers, so we'll have routes of economic trade, such as, for example, if you want to trade something from Moscow to Toronto, instead of going all across the Pacific or the Atlantic, you could instead, go up top, from the Northern Pole. And that's a good thing, because it's easier trade, it's easier thing, and people, a lot of countries can evade, have the freedom and sort of avoid crossing the Panama Canal, although also the Nicaraguan Canal that is being built now, or sailing all the way through Argentina in the south. So a lot of ways that people can sort of bring a novel way of approaching trade. So now, one of the things that I should specify and mention is that the U.S. has the northern pole melt is definitely going to be affected as far as economy is concerned. A lot of resources and money will be rechanneled or shuttled into the disasters that happen in the southern region, in southeast of America. You guys know there are always hurricanes in Florida, Georgia, in all that region, and the rate and the frequency and the intensity, as meteorologists say, is going just to go up top the roof, and that's going to really compromise the resource allocation of the US. That means you'll have to build better houses, stronger houses. And one fun fact, interesting thing, is that in Florida now, recently, they've started replacing wooden framed houses by concrete framed houses. So now they're using steel and concrete instead of wood or lumber, because the problem is not the structural integrity of the house per se, or to avoid fire and those sort of things. The problem is that when there is a hurricane or there's a problem in flooding or anything of that sort, what happens is that there is a swampy terrain that sort of ejects or keeps the structure foundation vulnerable to absorb water and moisture and degrade the wood and the structure over time. So those sort of things, they affect the economy over time. And now the disadvantages are that the world will be warmer, so more resources into buying air conditioners, into buying, there'll be more deaths from heat strokes. There'll be more casualties as far as driving, in a warm tarmac or concrete roads, asphalt. It's just going to be a lot of resources that have to be added, and a warmer world means we'll have a very unstable rain process throughout the years. You guys know that we have two lungs. They said the world has only two lungs. The human body is also interesting. The world and the human body have two lungs. First is the Amazon rainforest, which is in Brazil. The Amazon rainforest, for those of you guys who don't know, is comprised by mainly 4 countries. The largest, Brazil, is having a share of over 70% of the rainforests, Brazil and the river too. But also we have Peru, we have Colombia and Venezuela. So we have these 4 countries sharing the Amazon forest. And the Amazon forest, with the rise in global temperatures, is going to be shifted from its location. So there'll be an erratic pathways of creation of O2 to sort of buffer up the amount of CO2 in the atmosphere, and that's going to be a really stressful event for the world. So it's not easy. We'd have to live to see, but one thing that is certain is that over time we'll have a solution for that. All the thing we have to do is to avoid. The saying, prevention is the best medicine. All right, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I hope to do better videos in the future. Stay tuned and see you share, like, and subscribe. Bye for now.